Great. Yeah, proud of the week our guys put into practice this week, man. Really, I think our guys are stepping up, and we have to learn and grow from game one, right? We talked about it very open about that in my press conference. Not going to beat a dead horse, but the message is very clear for our team where we're at and where we need to grow to. No different. You win or lose that game. We obviously got our tails kicked, but we have to move on from that. We have to continue to learn from those moments, but it's time for us to move on and play our best football Friday night. Really good football team in Eastern Washington coming into town. They've got everything they need to come in here and beat us on the blue. I mean, that's just the reality of college football. I believe we have everything we need to win on the blue on Friday night. So proud of the week our guys put in. Effort and mentality are non-negotiables, and I'm going to be all about team is always greater than me. And that's going to be my message to the team tomorrow. And no one is bigger than the team. Me, the quarterback, the nose guard, the offensive coordinator, no one's bigger than the team. It's all about what can we do to help our team be successful, and that's what we're going to continue to build, right? That's the standard here, and I got to make sure we get that fixed. Like I talked about in our press conference a couple days ago, your culture is what you allow, and obviously some things were allowed by me that will not happen again. So excited about the week of practice we had. Our guys did a really good job, but we're not done yet. We got a lot of prep we need to finish up prior to kickoff on Friday night. And I really appreciate Bronco Nation, man. They stick with us no matter what. And I know it's going to be a sold-out crowd Friday night. We got to protect that blue. That is our home. And we got a great opponent coming to town.
How was that message received, you think, in terms of what it takes?
Yeah.
And are we going to see some changes to the line?
I think just like anything, BJ, we'll find out Friday night, man. You know, we got a great group of guys. Obviously, did not perform to the level we need to, not even close. And I've been open. I take full responsibility for letting that happen. I can only speak to the preparation and work we've had through our practice this week. It's been really good. I can see that raised. We will find out Friday night. And it's not going to be perfect Friday night. Just like anything, it's not like all of a sudden it was a light switch that was off and we're just going to flip it. We got to continue to build this team. We have to build it in all three phases. We got to continue to build. And the goal is to build it week in and week out. We have to play better week 2. And then you know what? We have to play better week 3, week 4, week 5, and stack those weeks as we go through season. We got to play our best football as it continues to go down the stretch. So we'll find out Friday night. Like I said, I'd love to sit here and tell you, oh, they received it, and we'll find out. I love our leadership. I love this team. And I told them that, this is one of my favorite teams I've ever been around. But we have stuff to get fixed, and we're problem solvers. We're not problem pointers, and that's what we work to do.
You felt that same way going into last week's game, and then obviously the results are what you got. So you have to ask yourself a second layer of safeguard questions to make sure you don't get into the same situation.
Yeah, I think you brought up a question in the press conference, Mike. Why did that happen, right, on Thursday night in Tampa? Still look at some things. I think there's some things we changed in practice this week in regards to some of the reps we're getting and how we're getting them, and making sure us as coaches, we don't lose focus on the scheme and just teaching the block or the fit. Where's the effort and where's the mentality? Because at the end of the day, if you don't have effort, you don't have mentality, that's just lines on a board that a coach sounds good talking about at a clinic. It means nothing. And honestly, I think we lost that. Start with me. I think we focused on some of the fits and the schematic answers, which you need, right? We're coaches and teachers, and we need to be cutting edge there. But you have nothing if you don't have a team that plays with relentless effort, and there's a mentality to wear a team out. You have nothing. And I think in our prep last week, that was missed, and that's on me. And does that mean it's all perfect and fixed now, Mike? I can't promise that. Like I said, all I know is preparation achieves great results, and we prepared really well this week, and we got to continue to stack. There's going to be a lot of things after Friday night that I know I'm going to be excited to fix again. It ain't like after Friday night, it's like, woo, got that fixed. Now we've got this elite team. No, we have to build this team. And just like we talked about prior to even the season, you can't start halfway up the mountain, right? We got to continue to walk, continue to take steps, continue to build. And we got to continue to find out guys that are bought into that. And we're going to continue, even in game, we're going to make adjustments. And then in game, if someone's not performing from an effort mentality standpoint the way we need to, I got to make sure that they don't play. And we got to continue to create those standards. We have more than enough here. And I got to make sure that what we allow is a very high level of effort and a high level of mentality. And that will not be lost. Coach.
Just one of the questions, or one of your things that stood out to me from the press conference the other day is your culture is what you allow. Where did that come from? And then as a guy that's known for loving his players and stuff like that, how has that your perception changed or altered a little bit? In terms of your culture is what you allow.
Yeah, I don't know where. I mean, I stole it from somewhere. I honestly, off the top of my head, I don't know where I took that from. I think honestly, actually, I think it was one of a pastor I was talking to, Pastor Joby Martin, told me that's because I talked about culture is how you act, how you interact, and how you respond. And then when we were talking, he said it's actually what you allow too. And that hit me. I'm like, so true. I could say we're a culture of all these things, but if you allow low levels of effort, low levels of mentality, selfishness, complaining, whining, that's who you are. And very, very hyper aware of that right now. And like I said, we do have a great group of guys, but there's as a team, we have to continue to build this. And I think, love is a core value of this program. That is action and sacrifice. And I talked to our staff yesterday. We will coach them extremely hard on that field, but I promise you, we will love them harder when we come off, right? And I think that's a non-negotiable, right? I remember when I was out at Clemson a year and a half ago, and I remember their staff room, it said, serve their heart, not just their talent, right? And I think about that, like, I'm not here to serve these kids just so they play better. I want to grow them as people. And if I don't teach them to learn from mistakes and to grow when hard times happen, I'm failing them. Because at some point, life is going to, just like we got punched in the mouth in Tampa, life will punch them in the mouth consistently. And you have to respond from that. And we didn't, and so that's what we're going to face.
So a name that came up quite a bit was Devon Banks. So how do you serve and grow Devon after going through that?
Yeah, guys, obviously Devon did not play well, and there's a lot of things that has been scrutinized, and rightfully so. We have a lot of other things we're working on to fix the team. I do not want this by any means to be circled on him. And I'm not saying you aren't.
I almost mean just pushing it forward and obviously somebody's got to be built back up after going
correct.
through that.
You have to, and that's where I think an elite coach, teacher, mentor is someone that can demand very high standards in the arena, the practice, the prep, but then make sure you love them even in a deeper way, where it's not just so they can perform, it's because you care about their life. And young men need to want that for themselves too, right? It is a two-way street. If it's just football and I don't want the personal part of it, one, that's probably not going to work here, especially me, right? I'm in their life. If you don't want it, I'm going to frustrate you, and I'm going to wear you down to where you break, But we have a group of guys that there's a lot of things that we put on film that's not us. And once again, take full responsibility right here. Now it's us fixing the field, but where we will not turn into is a place where these coaches don't love these kids. That will not happen. I believe the only way to grow someone to be the best version of themselves is they know you love and care about them. That is a non-negotiable. This program, that will not change. And making sure that you have to have both.
The game is going to be a little different. Obviously, no fans in the end zone down here. You guys are going to be on the other sideline, coming out of a different tunnel. Just what do you make of just some of the different feeling maybe on Friday?
Yeah, I've been asked that question before, BJ. Well, it'll be interesting to feel when we go out there, what it's like. Obviously played in the stadium during COVID when there was nobody in the stands, so I know it's going to be way better than that. But I'm sure, that is obvious. I can't wait for the north end zone to be done, and I love that part of our stadium. But this place packed out, rocked, lights, video boards, fans. It's going to be an elite atmosphere. It's the best place to play in college football in front of the best fan base in college football. End of story. With a north end zone or without a north end zone. I have been trying to work on a waiver to see if we can get people to stand on the construction. I got shot down. So, but it's either way, it's going to be an elite atmosphere, and we have to protect our home.
Just having a friendly fan base behind you as you try to kind of go through the process of fixing what went wrong last week, how much will that boost you? Yeah,
playing at home is there's a lot of advantages to playing at home, especially when you have a fan base like we have in Bronco Nation, right? That they're not just at the game, they're in the game with you. How loud they are, how much they love their team, regardless, right? Regardless, they love their team. Obviously, we need to uphold a high standard to support them. That's our fan base, and that's our family, that's our team, that's our state. And playing at home, man, we put a premium on it. Even Maddox Madsen talked to the team this morning about protecting the blue. And we put a premium on that. And there's no special pixie dust on the blue field that just makes you play better. The best teams in college football play really good at home, right? Because that means something to them. One, they're really good football teams. And we have to make sure we play at a premium at home because that's what the elite teams do. And there has been years and years and years of blue-collar teams that protected this blue, and we need to uphold that standard.
Coach, just real quick, you talked about getting punched in the mouth and having a fresh slate week at a time. What have you seen from the boys this week at practice, their mentality and kind of the way they practice this week heading into this Friday game?
Yeah, similar to the question earlier, I'm proud of how they practiced this week. And almost like what you said, Mike, I was really proud how we prepped going into South Florida. I was. I'm not ever going to come up here and tell you guys and blow smoke at you guys. I really was. I do believe there is a heightened sense of awareness and us as coaches focusing more on the effort and mentality than even the schematic adjustment. So I like how we practice this week. I can't speak to it until we perform on Friday night.
We talked with Derek yesterday. We did give him a smile, by the way.
Good.
But
Yeah.
he said he's big on where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
So what have you seen about Derek's will since he arrived on campus?
Derek Ganter is a phenomenal young man. Like he's been an absolute joy having us here. Wired the right way, extremely serious, right? I joke with him like a lot, like, hey man, smiling's free. Come on, let me get a little one. But you love that about him because, I mean, since he's been here, I mean, early to everything, works his absolute tail off. Weight room, training, practice, and he wants to be elite. And I believe he has a skill set to be a really good player here. And that he's a perfect fit for our culture, perfect fit for this team. And Bronco Nation's going to hear a lot more about Derek Ganter as he stays here in the future, bro, just because of who he is, how he's wired, and he is that guy. Like, I see him, even when he first came here, I mean, how we train in the summertime's hard, and it's hard for someone who comes in June to be a part of the culture, learn a defense, run index. We put him through the ringer, and he's responded every single time.
I think when we look at the transfer portal, and it might be, money, guys chasing bigger schools or whatever, the way he described it is that he said he felt too almost lackadaisical or content maybe with where he was, and he wanted to push himself. We're going to see that. Like, how cool is that? 'Cause he's still pretty young. So
cool. And he's very wise. He understands situations. He has a high level of maturity. Obviously way more than even just his age as a redshirt sophomore. Like, he's a guy that has very good awareness of understanding the value in this place and why it is different, and because he could have gone anywhere he wanted to, right? But he knew he wanted to come here, be developed, and be a part of something different. And he has, and he's added to this culture. And like I said, he's going to be a really, really good football here. And I talked to our staff the other day. I mean, if you look at our game, I think off the top of my head, I think 6%, somewhere around there, 6% of total offense and defensive snaps were taken by transfers, right? So we are a team that is, yes, we are going to recruit the best transfers we can, right? Derek Ganter being one of them, Jaden Mickey, and Malik Sherrod. But our best players holistically are guys that come here, grow, develop, maybe don't play right away, take their lumps, take their shots, and then when they're redshirt freshmen, redshirt sophomores, or have you, are ready to perform. And that's our team. And we got to keep building this every single day. It's not going to be a light switch like I talked about earlier in this presser. Like, it's going to be something we need to continue to build.
What do you think the greatest challenge is for somebody transferring from the FCS to here? And then what are your feelings that you have him for 3 years, that he can be here a long time, unlike a lot of transfers come for one?
Yeah, I think in college football, not you guys because you guys are elite football minds, but in college football, there's sometimes this feel like FCS and FBS football are drastically different talent levels. It's not. I mean, you see it across college football. I talked to our team the other day about the amount of FBS teams Eastern's beat in their time. I mean, North Dakota had Kansas State on the ropes, right? And that's a really good Big 12 team. So the talent level is not that much different. Obviously, I think we have more, maybe a bigger stadium and more support, but it's football. And so, I think about George Tarlis when he came here from Weber State a couple years back. It was seamless transition because it's football. It's about a team. It's hard work. It's defense. It's offense. So Derek Ganter, that has not been work ethic. Obviously, you're learning new schematics. You're learning a new culture. But him being a part of this team has been no different. And I know that we're going to get a really good Eastern Washington team rolling in this blue that has every right to kick our tail Friday night. So we better be ready.
Looking at the Eastern Washington offense, they have a quarterback that ran for 700 yards last year in a backup role. They have a running back who had 7 receptions in their first game. Just all the different things that athletes can do. What kind of I can't find the right word, but what's the challenge of just facing an offense like this?
They do a lot of different things schematically to put you in conflict. I think we talked about earlier, like offensively, they're going to give you almost every formation you can think of, right? So that puts a defense in conflict. Last week, they tried to put our defense in conflict by means of tempo and being on the ball, the urgency they created. Eastern will do some of that, but man, they put you in conflict with the amount of formations you got to align to, and it's hard. They have almost every different run scheme you got to defend. They've got really good athletes across the board. Their quarterback can take off at any point, and he's hard to get down. We obviously saw that be an issue for our defense last week. So they put you in conflict. And then defensively, they do a lot of similar in regards to you got to ID a lot of different fronts. They play some different coverages. They find good pressures to attack the protections you're giving them. So we got to play our best Friday night.
just with Coach Collins, and he was saying that with that fake punt last week, he says it was his fault. There was a mechanism that fails where he should have noticed it, he should have called a timeout or told you. Where's that balance for you as a coach where letting coordinators, coaches kind of oversee their part of the team as opposed to you just noticing it and kind of not overruling?
Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, as the head coach of a program, no different as the leader of a business, however this goes, it's on them. And I don't say that as a cliche, oh, here we go, the coach speech. That is my heart. That's what I feel. That's what I tell our staff. That's what I tell them. I want all of our coaches to be and grow to be the best version of themselves. When something goes sideways, which that did, that was obviously me missing a detail prior to the game of who's looking at what and how we're getting it communicated. And who does that fall on? That falls on me.
And just with special teams as a whole, struggles last year. Obviously, you didn't see what you wanted to see last week. Just can you pinpoint any specifics of where you'd like to see improvements with special teams going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it adds to just where we're at as a team. We have to play harder than the other team we play against. We've got to play with mentality. I mean, we could point at special teams, but that's going to go to all three phases. No different. We talked about, we got to talk about it. Well, we have to pursue to get to the football to get guys on the ground. It's not rocket science. And so from that and in regards to special teams, we got to create more buy-in on special teams. Make sure when someone's out there on kickoff return, punt return, whatever it is, that is the most important rep. And we've made it very clear, if you don't give effort on special teams, you're not going to play on offense and defense. So we got to continue to grow that.
So just with ethic, Malik, he didn't get past the 25, I think, was his returns. He's trying, obviously. Is that you guys positioning players in the right spots to give him the holes and the gaps, or I guess how do you fix that?
Yeah, we got to get guys that can block. And when they're one-on-ones, if we're on kickoff return and Malik has 4 guys chasing him down, that's not good for the Broncos. So we did a good job this week. Obviously, we've got to continue to build it, finding who can start in these situations. We had some guys this week that didn't play that did a great job in practice. You know what? They're going to start on some special teams now because they earned it in practice. And we will all, as a group, find out how they perform Friday night.
All right. Thanks, Coach.